Stoked, the podcast.
What's happening, everyone? We are back.
Hello, Mensa.
Stoked, the podcast.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes, boy. And we are so excited to bring you a special guest tonight.
Bloody
we are
marvelous.
here with Claire.
Claire!
Hello.
It's about time. Hey? Trying to
for
book a
having
spot with Claire is like,
Yo,
hey? Trying to start a
The
band
worst,
that's
eh?
splashy fit. It's
Yeah, diva.
tedious.
What a diva! I know.
Hey?
I'm
The lady's
sorry.
literally holding up a liter in her one hand. Mental health. She's about
Terrible.
woman, uplifting woman. Just creating a cool vibe within Belito. Claire, we are so pumped to have
we
you.
love it. We
Donkey.
love it. We love what you're doing, and we're so stoked that you're stoked on life.
I'm stoked
So,
to be here. Thank you.
First question we want to ask you. What do you do to spoil yourself?
Yes.
Claire?
What do
What
I
do
do
you
to
get up
spoil
to?
myself?
Oh, important
You
stuff.
know what?
This, eh?
That's your. I don't think I spoil myself enough.
Good.
Now I've thought about it.
It's
now I've
never
thought about
ending.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number one, food. Let's not go into that.
Yeah.
Let's not go into that.
Yummy. No, there's nothing wrong with food.
No,
Last
I
time I
love food.
checked.
That's my number one.
Favorite chow?
I'm a foodie. Favorite chow? I couldn't pinpoint one thing, I promise you.
Just
But I
dig
love a good
everything.
curry,
Yeah.
45 East Street. Anything that's like
Yeah.
decadent and a bit different, sweet and salty, mix those flavors up. Anything weird and wonderful, actually. Yeah, that's a good spot.
I haven't even had dinner yet, so I'm already
Oh, you're getting strong.
45 on East Street. If anyone's in Belito, go check that restaurant
Yeah.
out. Probably, hands down, one of the best restaurants we have here on the North
Can't
Coast.
go
I
wrong.
reckon
The
so. I
best.
reckon so. But other than that, if I can get myself down to Durban to surf, that's my spoil.
There we go.
actually. Yeah.
And that's why we love having you on this podcast.
Thank
Because you love
you.
surfing, you love having a routine in your life. So tell us all about your routine. You're inspiring others. You're getting others very excited about life, which I absolutely love. And
Yeah.
I'm sure, Jacques on board with that always.
Bring in the
So
stoke.
tell us about your routine, Claire.
My routine. It's funny, I was actually having a conversation with someone the other day about routine because through the last couple of years where I've really stepped into personal growth and personal development, and, we all learn we've got to have this routine, you've got to have a good positive morning routine. And I've read the 5 a.m. Club, I've read all these things that says you've got to have a good routine, get up first thing, do your work, exercise, all this. And I've tried every which way and whatever. And to be honest, I think the lesson is for everyone to find a routine that works for you. It doesn't have to be at 5 a.m.
100%.
Doesn't have to be, you don't have to do everything in a specific order and everything the same every single day. But just paying attention to what your body needs, what your mind needs, and figuring out what works best for you and really reflecting on, did that make me feel as good as I can possibly feel? If it didn't, not working for you. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. I think I just like breaking away from the mold, getting up and getting out in fresh air,
Yeah.
eating good food, drinking a lot of water, like top-notch water, like staying hydrated, and just doing things to treat your body right and that impacts your mind, obviously, and giving myself free time in the morning and not putting pressure on myself to just be working and stressing out all the time. So that's would, be my routine in a way.
You
each day.
see, all you buggers,
Yeah.
water, there is enough in beer. There is enough in beer, but that's not the water we're talking about. We're talking about looking after your
A little
mind.
bit of extra hydration.
Yeah, a little bit of extra,
Yeah, don't worry, I love a bit of alcohol.
A good old boozy Susie.
Yeah.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Claire, you got such a dope presence on your social medias and all of that. We will be putting in the link, so please go follow Claire. And it's a young lady who's just spending time discovering yourself and finding out who you are. And through that, dude, you've got some really rad mates in town as well. And I see what you guys are getting up to.
Yeah, we're watching.
The
social
yoga
media.
side of things.
Yoga,
How's that going? Because I saw you do a little dabble there.
Yeah, it's a dabble. It's a dabble. It's in and out, Sean, close your ears. Yoga, I like it, and it helps with, meditation and stretching out parts of your body that like release the right things and getting tension out of yourself. But I'm not a huge yogi, to be honest with you. I'm a bit stiff.
Well,
I won't lie, I'm a bit stiff and it's frustrating.
It takes work. It takes work.
But exercising in general, like, I love it.
Yeah. But that's what's so dope. You're so willing to experiment with a whole bunch of certain things, and it's like you were saying in the beginning, find what works for you. You're willing to touch on different things and just find your groove, find your space in which you operate with, and ask. We need to ask more questions. We really do need to start asking more questions. It's not about the answers. The fun is in the question. And when you are asking yourselves questions like, hey man, like, what do I need mentally? What do I need physically? These are things that you've done so brilliantly at, and there's a group of people that are around you that's I find fascinating, and they're lifting you up. So what inspires Claire?
Yeah, honestly, I think like you've hit the nail on the head there. People around you. If you're not inspired by the people around you, then you've got to find new people, to be honest. And as you guys know, I'm from the UK. I moved to Australia, lived there for a couple of years, was pretty set on that being my place.
Yeah.
But I actually hit really bad depression when I was there. And it made me realize that I had experienced depression throughout most of my life.
Sure.
But when it hit really hard to the point where I couldn't think, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I just wanted to escape. And I realized that every time I'd hit an episode like that, I wanted to escape, and I would literally leave a country,
Yeah, sure.
And I felt like I didn't I've always loved people that I have around me, but they haven't necessarily been the people that were right for me at that time.
Yeah.
And I've always been seeking like a community of people that I really like feel part of that community and that I can impact them and vice versa. And, I mean, I've got amazing friends that I love. They've become my family around the world, but I really have felt like I found my home and I found myself when I came to South Africa. And I never in a million years thought that that was going to be the case.
That's quite amazing because like with your whole growth throughout your whole life, it really sounds like you have grown spiritually and mentally, coming out of that depression, you're looking like you're full of life at the moment, you're inspiring others. So your routine as going back, it helps with that, to deal with that on an everyday, everyday thing.
Yeah.
So it's very, very cool.
Definitely.
Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have to do people around us, man. Come on, Matt. I mean, we're not doing this. It's not Stoked if it doesn't have Maddie on the show.
There we go. This is why we kind of started the podcast too, I think, is just to get people on here that are inspiring us, keep people inspired, our viewers and listeners, hopefully to inspire them, have guests like you on that, carry a message. Really to help.
And just to stem off from like the people that you have around you, 2 years back when COVID and everything hit and everyone was like in a bit of a panic and losing their jobs and they don't know what's going to happen and stuff. And that was really like, I'd been working on dealing with depression anyway and not having to go back into that ever again. But it was at that pivotal point that it's like I had no choice but to change things drastically in my life. And this whole, the online world and social media, a lot of people, wet poo-poo it.
Wet poo. Wet poo.
That's a new phrase for the podcast.
We told Claire she can fucking swear on this podcast. Yeah. So she went with wet poo.
I got the inspiration from someone else. But, social media for a lot of reasons has been a bit poo-pooed, but I used it as a really positive tool. And so I've managed to expand, a massive global community of people who have helped me find that stoke, like it was already there, but like so many people out there are so inspiring. They're doing such amazing things for people who suffer with mental health or didn't know where to turn or what direction to go in. And there's so many opportunities to like be part of these communities now and uplift and inspire people. And then we can then, you know, carry that on into our everyday lives with the people that we see face to face. So I really encourage people to like use social media as like a really beneficial tool to meet people that
pick it up, don't let it down.
Yeah, where you can uplift each other, and that's how we can all really make the world a better place. To be honest, we've got that ability to reach people that far. So.
And so many people in this world in this day and age need it. They really do. I mean, I feel like there's so much struggles happening at the moment. Just the rain and the floods we've had here in KZN, it's been absolutely chaotic. The last 3 days, everyone's been feeling stressed out. No one's can't get to work, and no one's wanting to go to work because they're all trying to look after their families.
Yeah.
And I mean, just by you reaching out and then they come across your video, just allowing them to identify with what you're going through, and I think it just helps people a lot. Yeah.
Your content is relatable.
Yeah.
People can relate to what you're talking about, the things that you've experienced, the things that you're brave enough to talk about. Why do we always think we are the only ones going through the shit that we're going through?
That's it. We need to become vulnerable.
Yeah.
People need to start becoming vulnerable, start reaching out, asking for help, you know, following people like you on social media. Get the Stoked back.
Buy Claire a beer. If you check her in town, buy her a beer. She's going to inspire you. She's going to bring the Stoked. But why? Why do we do that? Why do we think that we are the only ones going through it?
You know what? I think it's become a lot broader now and a lot more spoken about. Like what you guys are doing is amazing.
Donkey.
Yeah. But
feathers
like,
in the cap. And shot for watching, man. Yours are fucking amazing.
Yours are the best.
Yours are fucking amazing. Thank you so much.
But yeah, like 5 years ago, people weren't speaking about mental health.
Yeah.
And I believe that I went into such a deep depression because I felt like I had no one to talk to about it because I thought I was the only, literally thought I was the only one. I was embarrassed to talk about it. I just go about like working and doing whatever in Oz, and I was completely not myself. And I could see that people were noticing my relationships were falling away, and I didn't feel like I could talk to anyone about it. And so I think it's really incredible that people are so openly speaking about it on social media, and I get to be part of that as well and encourage people to do it. Also as a diabetic, so now I've tapped into that community of global people as well.
Yeah.
And it's really common for diabetics to get depression because you're living with this disease. There's no escape from it. There's no curing it. You've just got to deal with it. And I never knew that depression was a really common thing with diabetics until it happened. And my doctor told me. And now I speak to loads of diabetics that have gone through depression. And so that's just added to the motivation to inspire people to do it. So yeah, people are speaking out about it now. People are saying, I suffer with mental health.
Yes,
that's amazing.
And it's helping people to get through it way faster, you know, because they've got people to talk to about it. You can relate to people. It's like you don't feel alone because community is everything. No one wants to be alone anyway, let alone when you're feeling shit.
Yeah. So you're really being each other's support and pillars, you know, guiding each other through your own experiences and really just reaching out to each other. And it must be amazing. Do you have any groups that you are on and follow right now that guide and help you through mental health? Any for our viewers that maybe someone out there is suffering and they might go look at a group on Facebook? Is there anything like that that's going around?
I'm trying to think specifically. So, I mean, where I get most of my personal development stuff from is actually a business that I have now, and our support platform is predominantly personal development.
Right.
So that's where that sort of came in, and that's where mine's sort of really blown up. But in terms of Facebook groups and Instagram pages, I'll have to like give you some links when I've actually
just watch
had a little
shit, man.
But Claire, your content is
Hit her up in the DMs there. Ask her what's the vibe. She'll hook you up. Claire, we're gonna have to get you on here again, because this conversation can just carry on for absolutely country miles. I wanted to ask you about we spoke about your daily rituals in the beginning. We also want to go to what happens when women hang out together and start with the intention, because the intention is quite important. Because anyone can just talk shit about anyone. But what happens when women start hanging out with each other with the intention of lifting each other up?
It's definitely like an energy shift. So funnily you mentioned that. There was a group of us that decided to have like a girls' feminine night, like every couple weeks. We haven't done it for a while. And we get together and no boys allowed.
That's fun with us.
Probably better that way.
And we'd like...
Much better.
Probably better that way.
Yeah.
We just cause havoc everywhere, I promise you.
No, we love you guys. We love you guys.
And please park better. that fucking over that Hilux, eh?
Yeah.
You can go a little bit more.
I'm usually the bad one parking. But anyway. But the conversations are definitely different, you know, like our close group of friends, it's a mix of guys and girls, and we all like love each other, get on very well. But when us girls get together, our conversations are very different, and we speak about much like deeper emotions. But the guys do come up in conversation quite frequently, because these emotional topics aren't spoken about when the guys are around. But, you know, a lot of us do notice like our partners and stuff struggle to speak about these kind of things. So again, that's another thing that I think it's really awesome that you guys are doing this, because you're dudes that are speaking about mental health and emotions and stuff, and I think it's really good to encourage the men to speak about it.
Good.
You know, I came across
Alex will kill me for talking about this. She's talking about me.
It's so spot on.
Yeah, it's so true. I came across a group on Facebook called Men Do Cry. And they've actually got quite a big following at the moment, and they're doing very well. They're really reaching out to men, because there is a huge stigma around the community and life in general, how tough men should actually be. You know, you women are uplifting each other and by creating vulnerable discussions. I think men should definitely be doing that as well.
Definitely.
No one has it worked out, eh? No one has it worked out.
We're all trying to figure it out together.
Don't put that pressure on yourself. We spoke about it with Carla. Don't compare yourself to other O's. Everyone is living this life for the first fucking time. 100%. Be gracious to yourself. Spoil yourself. Spend more time in nature. Man, like going to the fucking bush. There's really nothing like it. Traveling 30 k's an hour through bush. Looking for birds, looking for animals, slows the mind down, slows you don't have to be busy to be important.
That's
You
it.
don't have to, hey man, how's your day going? No, I'm fucking busy. No, like, you don't
That was me.
I know.
I would always just be like, I'm busy.
Your worth and your value, so many people find their worth and their value, and I'm speaking from personal experience here. Find my worth and my value and how busy am I? How much stuff am I fucking doing?
Exactly.
You know, like what are the parties that I'm getting involved with? Like who's inviting me to this and that? And we are all going through stuff, and it's similar stuff, but we're all going through that similar stuff, and there's definitely you are not the only person that's going through that shit
100%.
right now. I promise you that.
We're all equals, we're all the same, and we're all human. We all breathe oxygen, and just like you said it, Jacques, we are all going through the same stuff. So why not help the next person next to you? You know?
Yeah. There's nothing more valuable than actually just dropping everything that you're doing sometimes, and even if it's like 2-3 hours to just, like you say, go out in nature, go for a walk, go chat to someone about something completely unrelated to your everyday bullshit. Loving the swearing, by the way.
Good.
You're naughty when I do it.
We're the raddest podcast out. She swears much as you are.
No can you fluke.
But yeah, like, you know, out of the amount of hours that we all work, like Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, you know, sometimes like 2-3 hours, it seems like so much time. Oh my God, I can't take that time out from doing all this work that I need to do. But most of the time it is more valuable just to take that time off and just switch off from it all. And just do something else and like switch your brain back on, give it some love, give it some oxygen, you know.
Realignment.
Yeah, definitely.
One track mind.
Yeah.
There's a Kiv story. If you get on think of it as a train station, your mind starts to drift and it starts to think about one specific topic and it just creates these stories and stories. You're literally getting on that train leaves the station and heads in the opposite direction of what you're trying to actually get to.
Yeah.
By the time you realize that train's going in the wrong direction, it's all that time to get then back to that space where you can actually start fresh, start anew. The people that you hang around with, they will remind you of that. And these little daily disciplines, I quite like that. I think that creates a very safe space.
It does. It allows you to slow down as well. You're not so chaotic in your mind. You know, you got a clustered mind, you'll find that you have a clustered house.
Yeah.
Always. I've heard that all
And
the
the
time.
other way around.
One the other way.
The other
Clustered
way
house,
around.
clustered mind.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I need to sort my fucking pause.
Some meditation. Should we do the last 5 minutes of meditation, guys?
Yeah, let's do it. And then go home and clean.
I do find the meditation is tough though, because I'm a little bit all over the place. I got the over the ants in my pants.
Yeah.
So I do listen to a bit of Russell Brand as well. I love Russell Brand. He's always telling the O's to meditate. I've done some TRE, some trauma release exercises. That's fucking dope. Stretching the muscles, getting the muscles to almost like release stress and release tension, and it's pretty much like if a lion chases a springbokkie through the veld and the springbokkie gets away, that nervous energy that the buck has, it actually goes under the tree and actually shivers and shakes that, which I think is fucking rad.
That's awesome, man.
It's not just, because it's not just one thing. Everyone's looking for one thing. If I just went there, if I just listened to that thing, if I just took that approach, if I did that diet, if I went and saw that but it can't ever be like that. You've been brought up by so many people.
Yeah, you could say that.
There's a lot of influence.
The amount of people that have had an influence on your life.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. And so, I don't know if you guys have heard of human design.
No,
So,
tell us.
it's like a kind of astrology influenced thing where we have different profiles of human design, and you get things like I won't go into it because it's very complex, but like generators, manifesting generators, like certain habits that you notice you have, like you start doing a million different projects, but you never finish them.
Yeah.
It's like a classic, what do you call it? It's those sort of people are a manifesting generator. And then there's a reflector, which is like the most uncommon human design type. And that person absorbs a lot of everyone's energy that they're around, but also doesn't fit into very specific categories, and isn't sort of just one profile. Like these other profiles, you can kind of say that person will behave like X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
This one's like doesn't have any of those, and so you end up absorbing a lot of everyone that you're always around.
Yeah.
So it made a lot of sense when I learned that about myself, because I realized that I've changed. So obviously we all change as we get older, but like I've changed so much with like all the people that I've been around. You do, but like like really intensely. And I think a lot of behaviors. At one point, I thought I actually don't know who I am, because I realized how much I had taken on from all these people that have brought me up in my life, and I had to sort of like peel the layers off.
Yeah.
And get rid of all this stuff and
Get
realize,
back
oh my
to
God,
Claire.
I got that get back to Claire and like find the source, you know, which we all have to do at the end of the day.
It's
but
the
we
most
do,
important thing.
yeah, but we do take on a lot, like not even, you know, when up to the age of 7, but like we're always taking on like other people's energy that you're around, which comes back to that same thing of like who you spend your time around. Like you want to be absorbing the right energy.
Definitely.
You know,
But even if you're not absorbing the right energy, because we learn stuff when we go through the heavy times,
Definitely. Yeah.
So we can get too caught up in the happiness and the joy and chasing that shit. The other emotions can actually be more important. That anger. Anger is a gift. Rage Against the Machine.
And I think
it might get you to do something different.
Yeah.
Reflecting on, finding yourself and then building yourself up again. And you did touch on it earlier in the podcast, but reflecting, constantly analyzing the change, analyzing the change, and then, realizing where don't you, want to be.
Yeah.
And then
that's
making
easier
a
than
change.
Deciding where you want to be.
Yeah.
What you don't want.
Yeah.
Because I also think it's a bit gnarly trying to find yourself. Who should I be? Who do I want to be? When you are changing on a constant process, just look at nature. That's why nature is so kept. It's changing all the time. The tree is constantly growing. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. So to think you're going to find this little sweet groove, this little niche that you're going to fit into.
Never find it.
It's only chocolate sauce that finds that sweet space. You know what I mean? So, like, don't be hard on yourselves, guys. Don't be like, fucking hell, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. You'll never know. Like, dude, I'm pretty convinced that you'll never know who you are, because who you are is made up of all these people that you've met. It's made up of all these experiences. That fucking quote that I heard this week. It's life is not about sitting around and pondering what life is about. It's about the experience.
Exactly, the process.
Yeah.
Go through the process, feel those down times, learn from them, try to figure it all out like we all are trying to do, and find support. Get there and speak about it. Like, open up your mouth and speak about
Wonderful.
it.
Yeah. There's always someone there who's one step ahead of you. When you find those people, they can go, look, you just got to do this and you can jump ahead a little bit.
You love it.
Yeah.
Bloody Claire. I told you we were going to get
the
on
best
again.
person.
Dude, we have been just inspired and uplifted again and reminded of why we fucking love doing this podcast so much. And like, Claire, we fucking love you. Please go follow, check out Claire, check out her vibe. If she's in town, buy a fucking beer. Alex is also such a great O.
You should get Alex on just for like a comedy session.
We're definitely gonna get fucking Alex on. We're gonna definitely get Alex on. And we're just so proud of like who you guys are and what you guys are doing in Bolido, and we love Bolido, and fuck, we've had a fucking joy. Shot, guys. Please, if this is your first time, go back to the first episode. Go check what we're about. You'll check what Shoot's about. You'll check what myself is about and where we are. Claire, amazing. Thank you so much. Guys, we'll see you when we see you again. Go tell your friends about us. Buy a fucking donkey.
Goodbye.
I'm feeling kind of like stoked.